Thank you, Stu. Ladies and gentlemen, like I tell you right off the bat, that women are impossible to please. I'll tell you what. Well, he really set himself up for this one, didn't he? Yeah, let's see him dig himself out of this hole. I was home last week with my wife, sitting on my lap. We're having some nice romantic time. And she looks at me and she goes, "Honey, tell me how much you love me." And I said, "Honey, I love you more than all the sand and all the oceans and all the world." And she said, "Is that all?" So I tried to keep the moment going, and I pushed. I said, "Honey, I love you more than all the stars and all the solar systems and all the universe." She looked out the window and said, "There's not that many stars out there." So I'm starting to get a little bit angry now. I say, "Honey, I love you more than all the blood vessels that are swelling up on my neck right now." She said, "Oh boy, you really do love me, don't you?" But you know, I guess women, they have a couple of kids, they don't feel quite sure about themselves anymore, and they look to their husbands for, you know, a reinforcement of their self-esteem. And that's where we as men we fail. We fall right on our faces. And I got to tell you, I failed bad this last weekend. I was reading the newspaper in that same lounge chair, and my wife came up and she said, she asked the rhetorical question, "If I die, will you remarry?" So I said, "Yeah, probably." And she came back a couple minutes later. She wasn't quite as happy this time, and she said, "Well, if you get remarried, do you think you'll live in this house?" And I said, "Well, yeah, probably. You know, we just refinanced it. It's a nice neighborhood. Why not?" So this time she came back, and there was no honey. She just said, "And I suppose she's going to drive my car too." I said, "Well, we just paid the whole thing off. It's a good car. You know how you take a hit when you lose a car, when you sell a car." And so she goes, "And I guess she'll use my golf clubs too, won't she?" I said, "No, honey, she will not use your golf clubs." He said, "Oh, well, why not?" And I said, "Well, she's left-handed, that's why." So anyway, my wife's favorite analysis here is, why did God make women beautiful and stupid? Well, he made women beautiful so that men would love them, and he made them stupid so that they would love men. Anyway, three of my buddies were sitting around the other day talking, and one guy goes, "You know," he was a newlywed, he goes, "Marriage is grand." And the other guy goes, "Yeah, but divorce, that's $100 grand. And the third guy, he spoke up, he goes, "You know, love, that's the illusion that one woman might actually be different from another." We told him, "Get the hell out of here, that's way too deep for us." But anyway, I guess you've probably seen the news. The newest thing now is, it's been on all the news and the newspapers, is women will be allowed in combat. And I think that's a good idea, but I think they should take it one step further. I think they should only allow recently divorced women in combat. Now think about this. I mean, this would be a force that has been unmatched by any nation, of all nations. I mean, can you imagine a platoon of recently divorced women? RDWs is what they call it. They crest the hill, and on the other side is a platoon of men. Now, in this case, I think I would actually feel sorry for the enemy. Of course, the other side, they probably figure out this new force, this power force, and they also would do the same thing. They'd have a platoon of recently divorced women, and if the two met at the top of the crest of the hill, I don't think they'd fight. You know, I think they'd look at each other and they'd go, they'd probably call Oprah Winfrey in and Phil Donahue. They'd sit have a big dialogue, they'd get the whole thing solved, and then we couldn't have a war. So maybe we should have a president who's a recently divorced woman, huh? That's a good idea. All right, thank you very much.